Australia holds the kind of world record it could well do without. The country with the greatest number of animal extinction since the beginning of the 19th century. But not-for-profit organisation Bush Heritage Australia thinks it's slowing and in some cases even reversing the trend. SBS reporter Karen Ashford travelled to Boolcoomatta Reserve in outback South Australia to take a closer look.
From sheep station to bush haven for native birds, rare plants and endangered animals like the dusky hopping mouse. Boolcoomatta Reserve in outback South Australia, not far from Broken Hill, was bought 5 years ago by Bush Heritage.
Ashton wandered out the back up onto these hills one morning and spotted for the first time in 70 years a yellow-footed rock wallaby on Boolcoomatta.
In 20 years, its network of private reserves has grown to nearly 1 million hectares, and it hopes to add 6 million more by 2025.
Private conservation is absolutely critical because governments can't or won't be able to act in the space that we are able to act in. We can work in many ways more responsively, more nimbly.
Catch and release surveys show 73 animals have been brought back from the brink of extinction and more than 800 others given safe homes. But not everyone's in favour.
Boolcoomatta's neighbours say recent drought-breaking rains mean species are bouncing back everywhere and that special conservation measures aren't necessary.
There's concern productive land is being wasted.
Boolcoomatta was a really productive sheep station, and it was for well over 100 years. And Bush Heritage has come along and taken it over and turned it into a park, which has been no benefit to the community, and also it's not producing.
Bush Heritage argues it's simply a different kind of productivity.
We have neighbours here who may not agree, many do, with what we're undertaking, but fundamentally we're part of the same system. We're actually ensuring the health of the overall system.
Australians have pledged $100 million to Bush Heritage since it began. Even so, many of its purchases wouldn't be possible without government funding. There are calls for governments to increase their support.
And I think governments should be helping to support the long-term success of those programs, because they're actually drawing in the public in a way that's probably very different to how a government can draw in public interest in these things. And, good on these organisations.
Bush Heritage says the world is on the brink of its 6th mass extinction event, this time man-made. Its target is to protect 1% of Australia. But David Payton says private conservation tends to focus on relatively healthy habitats, and more effort is needed for the tougher job of restoring damaged land. The federal government is working with the states and territories to set a national framework for biodiversity conservation over the next decade. Meanwhile, reserves like Boolcoomatta are doing what they can to preserve Australia's 70 million hectares of threatened habitats. Karen Ashford, World News Australia.